No, you don't hiss. They're nice. They're watchers. So we keep them in our thing. We don't hiss. Oh, stop hissing at your sister. She's honestly not hissing at you. Belle. Belle's not going to come. Okay. So today I thought I'd do something completely different and do a Wicca 101 on your tools. Now, I'm of the opinion that you don't always need these tools. But this is kind of the traditional way of doing things. So I'm going to start with probably the most basic tool, and that's the bowling. And these become very popular. As you see, it's a crescent-shaped knife, and its main use is to cut things. So if you want to make your own wand, you can, cut the tree limb and all of that with the bowling. It's your working knife. It's the knife that doesn't particularly have any magical powers except as used in your making of implements or whatever you want. So that's the bowline, Boline. Okay. Oh, it's getting me out of breath to even talk anymore. Okay, the second knife that you would have would be the Othame. And this knife you will never touch to wood or whatever else. You never cut anything with this. This is a banishing knife. And mine's pretty old, but basically what you do is that in a ceremony, you would use this to protect yourself from elementals or stuff that's energy that's trying to mess with you while you're doing your ritual. And so it's kind of a banishing thing. And you can do blessings and banishing all negative spirits with this thing. You just pointed at the area that you want to banish, and voila, it goes away. Very recommended that how you start off with your Othame is that you wait for a full moon, and at the first night after the full moon, you take the knife and you push it in the ground onto the hilt right there. And it should stay there through the waning moon. So you should pull it out right before the new moon. So it's because the waning moon means getting rid of things, or destroying things, that kind of stuff. So that's your Othame. Again, I don't think you need one unless you really want one because of the ceremony of the thing. And again, as you get more implements, the ceremony gets more ritualistic, and sometimes people do better when they can get their frame of mind due to ritual. And that's, all religions have used that for ages, and paganism's no different with that. So that was the Othame, Athame, I believe. One thing I find really helpful is a bell. And if I am caught up in kind of a trance state, but I know by a certain point I'm supposed to have the bell rung, then I'll ring it, and it'll put me back into today. I also use it to announce my intention. to do something. So, and that's just something I do. Not everybody does it. But I find that that's really helpful. You know, I sit quietly for a while, and then when I'm ready, I ring the bell. And that way, I think the energies are ready for me. Okay, something that I'll show you. This is not traditional. I made this like when I was 19 years old for when I was doing stuff outdoors. And I haven't used it in decades, but I braided a piece of cotton. You could use yarn, you could use whatever else you want. And at each point, I put a symbol, and they're Egyptian because I've really always been into Egyptian stuff. Where's the other point of my Egyptian stuff? God only knows. I must have dropped it. Anyway, oh, there it is. This is the end, and it's a scarab. It's a clay scarab. But it doesn't really matter what you put on the ends. Put on the ends what means something to you, or symbols that mean something to you. They don't have to be clay. They can be anything. And anyway, this, although it's going to take me forever to undo this, so I'm not going to do that. But what I would do is I would make a circle and close it up. And I would know I closed it up because I had my scarab and my Egyptian lady together like that. So it was a good way of just knowing my circle was closed and not having to worry about that. So that's why it's so warm, because I would make a big circle, even though it was usually just one of me. And now American Wiccans have kind of taken this. I don't know if European Wiccans have, but the Native American white sage, this is very helpful in that it cleanses areas, and it can be healing. But white sage, it doesn't matter what brand you get, as long as it's really white sage. Just make sure what you're buying is actual white sage. The other thing is, and actually I got this as a gift, which, by the way, is a very good way of getting magic implements, is having them as gifts. This feather was given to me, and so that when I burn my sage, you kind of put the smoke out. You push the smoke out to where you're aiming. So I think that's having a good herb to burn is a must. That is a must, because all herbs have spirit, and there are some herbs where the spirit is really good, some herbs where the spirit is not so good. So use one that you know is good. And one more thing, although he's dead by like a couple of decades, I would suggest this book for anyone interested in getting into Wicca. It's by a guy by the name of Scott Cunningham, and I would say that anything he wrote, I liked. He wasn't all caught up on the hype. He was caught up on the energy, and so he's got some really good information. My suggestion is that you try some stuff out alone and see how you feel with it before you decide to check out any local covens, because you may want to stay solitary. I was only part of a coven once, and for me it wasn't the greatest. Even though I was the high priestess, it wasn't the greatest experience of my life. So you may want to try out some solitary stuff before you you look for a group. It will also give you a sense of what it feels like. And if you're alone, you're not putting on anything to impress anyone. You're just experiencing it. So you're gonna know what it feels like. And Wiccans don't believe in the devil, and we believe in mischievous spirits and elementals and negative energy, but not an anthropomorphic devil. No, don't buy it. I don't believe in hell either. And for that reason, you may want to become a Wiccan, since we know you'll never get possessed. Okay, well, I think that's enough today. I know it was completely different than what you're used to me putting out, but I just had a hankering, so I have to find the button. All my stuff is sticking on my mouse. Move, Bill. Okay, have a great day, and until next time. And I'm not sure yet what next time will be, but wait for the surprise. Okay, bye-bye.